Good evening. This is the regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners, Housing Authority of St. Charles Parish, Tuesday, May 25th. The time is now 6:01 p.m. I call the meeting to order. Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I always want to say amen.
All right, our first agenda item this evening is the review of the minutes for 4/27/21 meeting. Good evening. This is the regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners, Housing Authority of St. Charles Parish, Tuesday, May 25th. The time is now 6:01 p.m. I call the meeting to order. We have a quorum present.
Okay.
We're good. Review of minutes for 4/27/21 meeting. Any board discussion? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we accept the minutes as presented in our packets.
All right, we have a motion made. Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that motion carries. Next agenda item, review of low rent financials. Ms. Hollis?
A hot second. Oh, I'm in bank statements. I'm sorry. Forgive me. So, low rent, our MENAR at this particular time is 1.58. We have a score of 7.4 out of 11 on our financials. That's something that the accountant is doing for us now. Our current assets, this is as of last month, we have $43,000. The accounts receivable from tenants, we received $18,471.67. And others miscellaneous, we received $7,949, which brings our current total assets as of last month to $89,291. Capital assets, $9,374,381. Total liabilities, non-current total liabilities, $15,938.81. We also have another total net investment of $1,625,967. Operation reserves. We have a reserve, which is our unrestricted net position. Bells, positive $69,241. Y'all want to go to the next one?
And yeah, now we can move on to Hcvp Financials if there's no questions from the board. Go ahead.
Sure. HCB, what's that? HCV program, currently we have total cash. This is not right. Oh, I'm sorry. It is right. Total cash, we have $263,615 in the bank. That's our current asset. Tenant income, nothing. We have no income from the tenants. The only time we collect income from a Section 8 tenant is if we have a debt to collect.
But you just lost me.
We're on page 1 of 2 of the financial reports.
HCB.
HCVP.
It's behind the yellow sheet,
Okay.
the financials.
Gotcha. Okay. Just keeping up with it. All right. 1 of 2. Got you.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was on accounts receivable, and under other, we have a total of $11,157. We have been drawing, well, we received a lot of CARES money, but we weren't spending it. And we've been using that money to offset, and that's how we retired the DHAP debt. So we are now accumulating additional resources in our HCB program. Total accounts receivable, that's the 11,000.
And that was allowable?
Yes.
For the retirement of the other funds?
Yeah, we couldn't pay it. It's not like we don't draw it from HCB. It's automatically deposited into our account. The reason we couldn't retire it is because we had no reserves. So our reserves accumulated.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the total current assets is $282,030 under total current assets.
Mm-hmm.
Non-current assets, $282,615.24. So that's the summary. Everything else is just a breakdown of what I just went through.
All right. Any board discussion, questions, or comments?
Mr. Chair, if I may, I just have a quick comment, and if no questions after that, we can maybe give you a motion. I just want to just say that I did ask a question about some postings last month, and I just want to say that Ms. Hollis and her staff were very on time. The very next day, I got an answer to the question that I asked, and I was able to trace and follow. And when she explained to me how the multiple postings may reflect one single check, even this month I just picked a number and I was able to follow. So again, two things I'm gonna say is this is much easier and much better than what we had, and I'm able to trace and follow the money in a sense.
Follow the money.
And so I just wanted to give you that compliment, how rapidly you gave me an answer. I did find the answer, and even in this month's package, I was able to trace the numbers, and so everything is good and flowing well as far as I'm concerned. I just wanted to make that comment. Since I did publicly ask the question, I wanted to publicly acknowledge that you answered me, and I was able to trace and track. And even this month, I was able to do the same thing. So thank you all so much.
You are welcome.
And thank you, Mr. Woods. Yeah, I would say that these reports that we're now receiving are night and day, different and easier to read and follow than anything we've previously had in this agency that I've seen. So appreciate getting those up and running. And
Thank you.
Much
The
better.
VMS report, I remember we used to talk about it a lot, but the VMS report is simply a process in which we report to the Department of Housing and Urban Development the activity of our vouchers, how many are issued, how many we have waiting, how many is ported in. But in the VSM report, it should always be a check and balance based on the UMP, which is reflected in the financials for the HCB program. So they should always match.
all right, if there's no more discussion, do we have a motion to accept the financials into the record?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the financial records.
All right, motion made. Do we have a second?
I second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That
We need to
carries.
interject resolution.
Alex, please, if you want me to, before you forget.
Do you want to handle this before your administrative report or after?
Before.
Okay. All right, we have one item that was not on the agenda for this evening. It's a rewording
It
of
is.
of a previous resolution that we passed, and I'm going to let Ms. Hollis explain it, and then I'll read it into the record, and then we can discuss and vote or whatever we need to do.
In the past, we would refer to our annual report as the annual report, and that's the report that controls our CFP funds. HUD has come back and they want us to now use the terminology CFP funds instead of annual report. So we have to redo the resolution so that I can submit it in the epics.
Okay. I mean, and to be clear, we've always had the CFP.
Every year.
Every year, and we've had an annual report. So this is just consolidating those two terminologies into.
Well, it became confusing because we actually have an annual report that we do every 5 years. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So to name them.
The 5-year plan, the annual, and then we do an annual update.
And the one that we do every year, they want us to refer to it as the CFP.
Okay, got that.
So basically, we're doing this just to be on the same terminology as HUD wants us to
And
use.
so that they won't get confused, because it caused us a problem. We had to do it twice. Because the first time we did the 30-day notice, which is what we normally do. But because this year was the year that we needed to do the 5-year, the notification process was 45 days. Pushed us back.
Okay.
All right, any further discussion? All right, I'm going to read it into the record. Resolution number 01-05-2521, resolution approving the updated Capital Fund Program 2021. Whereas the Housing Authority of St. Charles Parish, HASCP, must have an approved updated Capital Fund Program 2021, and now therefore the Housing Authority of St. Charles Parish Board of Commissioners at the May 25th, 2021 scheduled board meeting, the St. Charles Parish Courthouse, Hahnville, adopt the updated Housing Authority of St. Charles Parish Capital Fund Program 2021 to be approved for implementation at the May 25th, 2021 meeting. Any discussion? Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adopt Resolution 01-05-2521, resolution approving the updated Capital Fund Program 2021.
All right, motion made. Do we have a second? We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
That motion carries. All right, Ms. Hollis, administrative report?
Administrative report. No new business. We have submitted our 5-year annual plan. We were able to secure a signature on a certification with the state of Louisiana. So that allowed us to move forward. Ms. Belloc and I had a meeting with the parish president and also Mr. Corey Wu, Bobby Raymond, and Michelle Impastato to talk about that process. Also to share information as we move forward. I think they were pleased.
I think they were.
With the presentation. We have their support. I've always thought we had their support. I always felt that we had their support. But I think that with the new administration and the transition, there was like a little learning curve that had to be addressed. We are partnering with the Sheriff Department. The Sheriff Department is using our disarmament site for training. They asked, can they use it? I'm like, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's a good partnership as it relates to the Housing Authority, and they've been very helpful with us in the past. We did our COVID on the 8th at Hornville and also at Boutique. Boutique, we had 14 people. Hornville, we only had 5. I wish that we would have had more participation. They're coming back on June 10th. I am in communication with HUD to see if we could have some type of incentive to encourage them to actually take the vaccine. So
I think that would be really helpful because our numbers are up in St. Charles Parish for
Again?
COVID. Oh, yes. That was the parish president's report on Monday night. The numbers are up again in St. Charles Parish. And
You would turn your mic on.
I would have assumed that a lot more people would have showed up for that vaccination.
we actually had only 2 people to show up. It was only 2 people registered, and after about an hour in, I just started walking and knocking on doors. Most of it is fear, but as a result of the knocks and some communication, we were able to get up to 14. So we probably need to do some type of educational process as well.
Yes, and we had active cases as of Monday. Today's Tuesday, Monday, yesterday.
Wow. Before I turn it over to Brandy, I want to talk about the potential of having a summer activity for the kids. I have 2 sites, one in Hornville and one in Luling.
In Luling?
Both of them are
Both on the West
community
Bank.
centers.
Both are on the West Bank.
Well, we don't have any developments on the East Bank.
Right.
But if you find a development on the East Bank, we could work it together. But LaRon Bird has opened 2 community centers, and he's willing to allow us to use the community center and do something like a STEM, free to the low-income kids. He has already developed a relationship and partnership with the school board to provide additional resources, computers, and those things that would be needed. I only see one challenge, and that would be transportation.
Right.
But they're both close to our developments. Yes, sir.
And can I interject something right quick? Mr. LaRon Bird, I'm very familiar with him because he's worked with our civic association up in Kelowna and stuff.
He's doing a lot
Really
in Kelowna.
great guy and really interested in community things. I heard you said low income. I guess where I'm always coming from, when we do things, it's usually specific to our housing developments. When you say low income, is that going to be inclusive of all kids and stuff?
Based on availability, low to medium income. The issue is that if we're using any type of federal funding, the requirement is that it's low to medium income.
Yeah, but I got you on that. But even if those people do not live in our housing areas, will low income still be included generally?
No, because our services, our mission is to serve our tenants, our clients.
Okay.
Now, the parish should have other activities. You know,
But we won't have summer camp this year.
community action.
We won't have, like, what
Free
the
camp.
recreation puts on. No, it's not free. The recreation has a summer camp program through St. Charles Parish. We will not have it this year. No summer camp.
Still another question. I understand what our focus is here, I get it. But I know Mr. Bird is a private entity, I'll say so.
His
Can
target
there be
population
public?
is the community.
Yeah, I got you. So can there be public-private cooperation? But as that I'm saying, I know an organization that I'm,
It's public. He's a nonprofit organization.
and we have a nonprofit organization also.
And we are quasi-nonprofit,
So my
as
goal,
we stand now.
and you know, and I always, you guys, if you see where I'm coming from, I'm always trying to reach the maximum amount of kids. And so if we do this, I'm for it, but I would like to include all the kids, low income or whatever is what I'm trying to put at, but be a little
But this
more
entity
open.
can't do that.
No, but
With his program, I think that would cover
It
what
would-
you're speaking of.
Right, that is
Not
right.
under what Leatrice is doing.
is there a way, if the funds for housing authority are designated for the housing authority residents' kids, and then for private or nonprofit funds from another entity?
We're not dedicating any money. So based on availability, any kid can participate in Mr. Bird's community centers.
Right.
Okay,
My focus is to get our kids a seat.
right, and so, okay, so what Mr. Woods is asking is if there's, you put it out to the housing authority first, and if there's still openings and availability, is he able to go to his neighbors in Kelowna or elsewhere and
Yes.
say, hey, we have some spots available?
He may.
Okay.
He may. It's just not a part of our agenda.
And I get it, I want y'all.
The housing authority won't advertise it, but, or recruit,
Okay.
but if there's available slots at the end, then that can be.
Got you. Right, I think
Alright.
y'all understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Glad we could
Alright.
clarify.
Alright. Thank you, okay. But a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good idea to have that STEM program.
I love the way that you love
All right, Ms.
the
Hayes.
community.
All right, we didn't have any big changes this month. We did have one move out in public housing. So therefore, we currently have 71 units leased. We were able to collect $18,746.25 in rent for the month. And we also still have we have now 58 units that are vacant and designated to mod.
I have a question. 18,000 is down a bit. Do we have any tenants that's not paying?
Yes, we do have tenants who are not paying, and we're seeking to do repayment agreements with those tenants. I have one tenant who stated that she has been in touch with the ERAD program for the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. So we're working with them on that. Other than that,
I'm gonna forward you some information for tenant assistance, rental assistance.
okay.
Can I say good question? Because in here, and I'm not going to look for it right now, but I do see sometimes there are postings for, and I'm going to try to get the terminology right, but things that are hard to collect and stuff. Is that what we're talking about here?
Sometimes we have, what are repayment agreements, where if a tenant didn't divulge some information in regards to their income changed over a period of time, they may have gotten like a 25-cent raise or something of that nature, and unreported income, we collect that.
You do get, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, they have to do the unreported income, but they also accumulate debt sometime for other activity, fines for trash, every window in a unit being broken out, there's a fine, right? We find them. One of the things that was important to all of us was the condition of the development and all that trash and stuff that used to be there. So the tenants get a warning, and if they don't pick the trash up, they fuss and cuss about it, but if they don't pick the trash up, we fine them. So all of that goes into the uncollected, and then we have to come up with a plan to collect that money as well.
Okay.
We won't evict them for it, but it will accumulate, and they have to agree to a payment plan.
I did see some postings for that, so good deal. I understand. Thank you.
All right, now I see Mr. Taylor's not here this evening. Do we have an update on maintenance?
There's no new activity. We did repair the bus pipes on one of the buildings, another slab where we had to have the pipes removed and replaced. Other than that, no new.
All right. At this time, do we have any board members wishing to go into executive session?
Mr. Chair, I did send an email to Ms. Hollis during this week asking, and I'm going to ask that we do go into executive session just for a few minutes. And my thoughts and concerns is our voluntary conversion, and I'd like to have those conversations in that executive session setting, and that would be the topic. So I make a motion that we do go into executive session at this time.
All right, we have a motion made. Do we have a second?
I second it.
All right, all in favor?
All right.
The time is now 6:25. We'll move in. All right.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we return to regular order.
All right, motion made. Do we have a second?
I have seconded.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, meeting now resumes at 6:50, coming out of executive session. At this time, we take public comments. Seeing no one in the galley, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.